How's it going, YouTube? EGR here once again. Today I want to talk to you about a couple things coming up on the channel, mostly about our preparation for Tennessee, which the Bitch Ninja will be attending, Eric's BMW will be attending, Reloaded will be attending, and unfortunately, Frank from Canada here will not be going. I've been slowly getting some things done to the Bitch Ninja over time. I added a boost fender. I've actually had the boost fender for quite a bit of time now. I've been just too lazy to make the brackets and actually install it. I also changed the buttons on the rotor, so now it's a noisy full floater. That'll help for a little bit with rolling resistance at the high mile an hour. I also changed up the tires on the bike. I'm trying out the Dunlop Q4 on the back, seeing how that runs compared to the Power RS. Still a 180/55. I also switched over to a Q3 Plus in the front. I added a nice little carbon inlet here for some bling. I also ordered some carbon pieces to replace this and this, obviously on both sides. Once I get a few more things done to it, I'm going to be tuning it on some C85 for Tennessee. I was going to use MR12, I decided I wanted to switch up to something that's unleaded, and C85 is essentially oxygenated E85. I have a few more little sneaky things I'm going to be doing to the bike. Don't worry, it's still going to be a naturally aspirated stock motor bike. I'm sticking to my guns on that one. Well, let's jump over here to Eric's bike quick. I added a carbon air inlet on this bike as well. This is the Imberger one, or Limburger, I don't know how the hell you say that name. But it gets rid of all of the stuff that's right here, too, to actually stop airflow. So that looks a lot better, and a nice little bonus, flows more air. I'll throw some pictures up at the end of the video just to show you what those looked like compared to stock. I did get a chance to ride this bike briefly with the Draggy to see what it would do. I was only able to make one pull, and I did it out of second gear because it was lighting the tire up in first gear. Starting in second gear, I did 60 to 130 and 385. Which is pretty good considering I'm skipping first gear and I'm in the threes on the bike. A lot of guys struggle to get out of the fours using first gear. So the bike's running pretty good right now. And I was scaling right around 190 suited or so as usual. I'm going to get back on the bike and try and get some more data using first gear and also some higher mile an hour pull to see what it's actually doing compared to, say, the Bitch Ninja and Reloaded. But aside from that, this bike is ready for Eric to pick up. He's picking up kind of a street weapon here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what his opinion is on it. Maybe I'll film that for you guys and actually introduce you to him. He's a pretty cool kid. Now let's jump over here to Reloaded to see some of the changes we've made since Texas. For starters, it's got smaller tires on it finally. We put a 180/55 Q4 on the back and a 120/60 Q3 Plus on the front. It had a Power RS 120/70 and a Power RS 190/55. So we dropped a little bit of weight there and a little bit of tire dimension. Unfortunately, this bike was extremely low already, so we had to raise the bike up on the suspension a little bit. I raised it up about a ½ inch on the forks and a ½ inch on the rear lowering link. Besides that, we removed the Woolwich shifter, which is powered by the factory ECU, and we added a Translogic quick shifter. We haven't tested it out yet, but so far it powers on and everything's all good there. The weather hasn't been cooperating once again in good old New England. Still in the 40s here. But other than that, it's got the same tune that it had in Texas. I just got to clean that up a little bit and make sure the quick shifter works, and then it's ready to do battle in Tennessee. Now, I don't know if you guys recognize this bike, even though I said it earlier in the video, but this is Frank from Canada. He's the one causing all the stir up there in Quebec. He's back for round 3 of some work. So far, I just changed his kickstand. I finally put a Brock's adjustable kickstand on it, and I went down to a 38 tooth in the rear. I got a few more tweaks to make to this bike. I'm going to be lowering it more and converting it to a single rotor, things of that nature. But for the most part, nothing too crazy is getting done to this bike while it's here. Just wants to go a little bit faster this year. Oh, and he's also getting tuned on MR12. Alright, now that we got the bike information out of the way, let's talk about something that a lot of you guys have been asking me about lately. And that's, when am I racing Street Speed? Well, it looks like it's finally locked in on a date, and it's going to be happening at the end of this month in an undisclosed location, so nobody secretly shows up. But I've been talking to him one-on-one about that, and that's going to happen. We were getting 650 Eve involved because he wanted to race in H2, but 650 Eve unfortunately can't make it, so I'm going to try and find a substitute H2 in the meantime. I don't know if that's going to happen, but hey, the worst case scenario, I'll try and make a good race out of a ZX10 and Street Speed's now pure turbo modified 720S. But alright, final thing I want to touch on in this video is this right here. I finally got my vlogging setup complete. I got a GoPro Hero 7 Black, some Amazon purchases for brackets, got the GoPro external mic adapter, and a Sena 30K. Now I don't need the Sena 30K for logging. That's mostly just for listening to music and communicating with other riders out there. But for the most part, this is set up so that I can still full tuck, as you can see. That's about the position that my helmet's going to be in. Actually, it sits more like this. But this here is level, and that sits right in this pocket right here. So that works out pretty good for me right there. It's going to capture a pretty shitty angle when I'm full tuck, but I'm not too concerned about that. This camera setup is mostly for being able to ride, vlog, and then I can also race without having to remove it. I'm going to be testing this setup out this weekend. We're supposed to be getting some decent weather finally. That's why I really haven't been bringing you guys any kind of riding footage, because unfortunately the weather still kind of sucks. And between getting all the bikes ready for going for Tennessee, I've been kind of swamped in here. I have a couple bikes out in the trailer too as well. I'm going pretty much full time around the clock doing all this stuff, so that's why I'm just updating you guys right now. I do have a lot of great plans for footage and videos and stuff like that. I got to get the podcast going again. That's mostly just a time consuming issue with between hooking up with Sonny and any other guys, because we do want to bring you guys a podcast where we talk about all of our races that happened in Texas, maybe go into some detail and bring those back up, stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and pretty much conclude this video. Like I said, just wanted to update you guys. Next video, I'll be testing out this thing. I don't know what bike I'm going to ride. I either might ride my 10, or I might ride the BMW, or maybe even Frank's bike to do some tuning. We'll see what goes on there. But I do think there's a couple local cars that are looking to do some racing. So not with me, but with each other. So I might jump in on that and try and get some filming going on and see what's up there. But anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around and watching the whole thing as usual. And you know the drill. If you liked it, thumbs up. If you hated it and you hate me, thumbs down. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit the bell icon so you get notified of more of these videos. All right, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.